pleasure to be with you again today. We have Church Van Chillin Part 2 coming to you from the middle of nowhere. And I got to visit with our good friends Sandy and Charlie today, and they've let me know that they are actually going to be moving to Texarkana this Friday. So prayers for them as they make this transition, as they continue to seek somebody or a company to rebuild their house so they can move back to Longview. They wanted me to let you all know that they appreciate the prayers, and they miss everybody greatly, and they still would love to keep in touch. So keep them in your thoughts and prayers. And really, the past few months with Sandy and Charlie and knowing their hearts and knowing how much they've wanted to get out of this situation into something a little more tenable, something a little more livable, and how it just went for months with no clear answer or nothing. It reminded me of the Israelites marching around Jericho, and they marched 7 days, and Jericho was no small town. And they'd march around it each time. And I would have to be thinking, as somebody that, had barely been exposed to Moses as an Israelite, you're just one of the people there, one of the thousands of people there. You got to be probably wondering, what are we doing? Day 5, you're like, are we trying to, make a moat? Or are we just trying to create a walking path for them? But God had given them the victory before they had even started. Yet the Israelites needed to be faithful. And you see that time and time and time again. And that really goes, with prayer. We have to keep praying in circles, time and time again. Not be discouraged. Have our faith in God. And I'm just so thankful for the example of Sandy and Charlie. How they, even through the midst of a major life transition at this point in their lives, having to be uprooted from their living situation, moved to the middle of nowhere during the middle of a pandemic where everything's shut down and nobody could really visit them for months. And, it's hard to keep in contact with people, and people, even though we're as connected as before, we seem to be at times want less connection. And they have been so faithful in checking in on me and my family and our teens and the church, and it's been such a great example for me, and how sometimes I could lose faith and be that worrying or doubting person. In the midst of God working, I'm worried about myself. And so that's the challenge today, church. Really live out that promise that God has given to each of us. Live out that love, that grace, that peace that the Lord has given us. Let that be evident in your life. And even if things haven't been going your way, and they have been going your way for years, we have example after example that God's timing is not our timing. We're not wandering 40 years in the wilderness, not bleeding for 12 years. We're not in the middle of a 3-year drought about to starve to death. We have a lot of blessings, and the Lord continues to bless us even when we become idolatrous and adulterous. When we succumb to idolatry or adultery, and not just the sexual kind, with images, with entertainment, with everything. Keep your focus on God and trust in God. Believe in who God is. That, to me, that's the power of the Psalms, man. Especially the ones that David writes. But all throughout, you see, even in the midst of despair, he believes in who God is. And God is faithful, even when we aren't. Continue to be faithful. Don't be discouraged, church. Go forth in love, grace, and peace, and spread the love of Jesus Christ. Y'all have a great day.